More shows by or about people of color are hitting the Broadway stage and making waves. For example, Tony Award winners for Best Musicals such as In the Heights, Memphis, and The Lion King. There's also Fela and the recent revivals, West Side Story and Fences.
I don't want them to be like me.
The list continues to grow, and so do the audiences of color. George Wachtel from Audience Research, a marketing research group, provides the latest Broadway statistics.
The percentage of domestic Hispanic audience, African American audience, and Asian American audiences have been consistent going back at least about 15 years, and they've always been in the single digits. Now, in the 2004-05 season, 11% of the audience was African American, and that also was the year that August Wilson's play, Gem of the Ocean, played on Broadway, as did the special attraction Whoopi. In the 2008-2009 season, 9% of the audience, of the overall Broadway audience, was of Hispanic or Latino background, and that was more than double the norm, which was about 4%. That was also the season in which In the Heights played its first full year, having opened in March of 2008.
Broadway producers now see these periodic spikes in audiences of color as an unexplored market waiting to be mined in big cities like New York. With 2009-2010 ticket sales down 3%, they're looking for new ways to attract audiences. Patrick Pacheco, correspondent at large for the LA Times, says Broadway producers are now turning productions into events. One marketing strategy is casting celebrities like Denzel Washington in Fences and Sean Puffy Combs in A Raisin in the Sun.
If you look at it from an historical point of view, Raisin in the Sun, written by Lorraine Hansberry in the 50s, was probably largely attended by white audiences, with a new audience of black members coming to see a play and a drama that reflected their lives. When it was revived several years later, within the past decade, with a star, Sean Combs, in it, it drew a substantial black audience, drawn by the celebrity, but also, again, because it was about their lives. It was a tremendous hit, and I think that the tremendous success of the revival of Raisin in the Sun made people, a lot of producers, pay attention.
Attracting new audiences also means finding new material that brings a black, brown, and yellow tinge to the Great White Way. But mounting a production with a predominantly ethnic cast can be very risky financially, as Susan Haskins, the co-host of CUNY-TV's Theater Talk, explains.
For instance, it's Ruth and Steve Hendel, who did Fela, who developed the project and then said, we're going to take it to Broadway, and probably must be losing money. I don't know, I hope they're not, but they probably are, keeping this very worthy project going so that more and more people will see it, even though the Tony Award went to a far more mainstream, and to my mind, less exciting work, Memphis, which they just, the people who vote for the Tonys felt, I believe that they voted for it because they thought it would play better in Peoria. They thought it would do better on the road.
And there's the rub. An audience of color can support a show initially, but that will not guarantee its success. In order for a production of color to succeed, it needs to attract the wider theater-going audience, at least for now. I'm Judith Escalona, Independent Sources.